and then his teacher observed that there was no mala inside. So he was fingering his fingers. He was a very small child, maybe 5-6 years old, but still he was with devotees. Okay, so we will start chanting, and during the chanting, you can try to offer a prayer, whatever comes from your heart. The best prayer is to ask for devotion to Krishna, ask for more devotional qualities, ask for more service, ask for strengthening our connection with the Supreme Lord Śrī Caitanya, and anything in your heart. Because Krishna is our friend, Krishna is our mother, Krishna is our father, Krishna is our everyone and everything. So we can certainly express our heart to him, right? So with that, let's begin. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad-Bhakti Vedanta Swami Eti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Shunyavari Paschatadishtarini Jai Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrī Vasadi Gauravatavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Ram Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If you still have a few mantras, you don't need to pause in the middle. You can complete your one round. Śrī Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. So thank you everyone for taking your valuable, precious time. I'm so happy to see all of you. I see Jashet, Karina, Bionto, Ayush, Vedehi, Navya, Avni, Lakshay, Isha, Vinita, and a few are on hidden mode, Ovi, Arna, and Athar. So thank you. I affectionately, warmly welcome you for this online Zoom session, which we do every Sunday. So how is everyone doing today? I think your exams are coming. Last time you told your exams are approaching. Is that correct? Or they're already done?
Mine's already done.
Okay.
Mine
Who all
is this
still
week.
have? Yes, Vedahi?
Ours are this week, starting on Tuesday.
This week. This is a critical week. How about others? When are yours, Athar? Thanks for turning your camera.
I don't think we have any.
You don't have exams?
Yeah,
Wow.
we did them last week.
Last week, so you're already done. Good, good. So I wish you all the best for your upcoming exams for this semester or quarter or whatever pattern your school uses. And I thought to begin with an open-ended question today. Think for a minute, think for a few seconds, and maybe you can respond this. What gives you the most joy in the process of bhakti? Right? We do something because we feel happy about it, right? We may not do, we cannot do anything for a long time if you don't feel happy about it. You agree, right? If it's not joyful, if it not gives happiness. So think for a few seconds, 30 seconds maybe, and maybe you can share. All of you can type in, and a few who want to speak can also speak. I want to hear some responses as well. So the question is open-ended. There's no one right answer because someone may like something and others may like something else. And I want to hear from all of you. Is the question clear? Right? Okay. I'm eagerly looking to hear or at least read your responses. So please type in a few words, or you can even raise your hand and speak whatever way you prefer. We can take a few responses verbally and a few written. Okay, so Avani has mentioned singing bhajans, eating good prasadam. How many of you like good prasadam? Right. We all love prasadam, right? Good prasad, nice, tasty prasad. That's what you meant by good prasad? Yummy. That's nice, very good. Prabhupada, called prasadam, or in the beginning, is ISKCON bullets or magic bullets, because people would come. Like, I'll tell you a story from prasadam, and then we'll cover more also. Prabhupada would keep a big pot of nice, tasty gulab jamuns, and sometimes, someone may not like class, or someone may feel, oh, I had a kind of an argument with this devotee, that devotee, or I'm feeling bored, or I don't want to be here. And then they would about to leave, but near the exit, they will find a big pot of gulab jamuns. And then they'll take a few gulab jamuns, and then they will change their mind. Where will I get these tasty gulab jamuns? Anywhere in the world. So then they'll come back to the temple. Very nice. I'm sure everyone likes yummy, healthy. Try to balance prasad. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, right now all of you are young and healthy, but in the long term, as we all know, that we have to balance. For example, if we eat samosa every day, right? Do you think, even if it's prasad, even if it's offered to Krishna, right? Do you think our bodies will be very healthy? Right? So what's the verse with which you can prove this statement, that we need to balance our eating, etc.? Who knows this verse from the Bhagavad Gita? That we need to have a balance of all activities. Okay, Jashit, please go ahead.
I forgot what verse, but I know like what the verse is like.
Okay, please.
Yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yoga bhavati dukkhaha.
Very nice, excellent. Who knows the number? Who knows the number of this verse? Which text? Beyond?
4.2?
No, 4.2 is the Parampara one. It's in chapter 6, text 17. Okay, very nice. So the idea is balance. Okay, sometimes we can take a little bit samosas and kachoris and whatnot, but if we do that every day, then we will not be healthy, right? Okay, prasadam, very good point. We all like prasadam. So let's see some of the other common patterns which you have mentioned. Prasadam is certainly, yeah, you can mention 2-3 elements also. If you like more elements like prasadam, kirtan, dancing, and books, and etc., you can mention those also. So I'll try to find the patterns. Reading books or spiritual books is something a few of you have mentioned. Okay, let's raise your hand. How many of you like reading or hearing? It's the same thing. It's called Shravanam. It's very, very important. Reading or hearing or getting to know more about Krishna through reading, hearing, or through getting to know more about life lessons. So I see a few of you. How many of you like more Krishna stories, right? Like philosophy, Krishna pastimes, or Krishna's incarnation, Matsya, Kurma. And how many of you like practical lessons from those? Like what can we learn from that story and apply that in our lives, right? Okay, how about one of you name one? Name one lesson from a story which you felt very inspired with, right? We discuss all the time, right? We discuss this all the time, some life lessons from stories, right? Lakshay, want to try? Go ahead.
One of my favorite ones are when Prahlad Maharaj always believed in Lord Krishna, even when his father was trying to kill him. Narasimha Dev always protected him. So if you pray to Krishna, then Krishna will protect you.
Very good, very nice. Thank you. So you should always try to figure out the lessons also. Like there are so many lessons, so many. In every story we discuss some lessons, right? Whether we discuss the fruit vendor story, we discuss so many lessons. Whether we discuss Damodar Leela, Krishna's binding of the rope, binding with the rope. So it's very nice. Some of you like book distribution. That's great. Today or this month is called Prabhupada's Marathon or Gita Marathon. So I have an activity for all of you. Okay. It's a very simple activity. Between now and next 2-3 weeks, I don't want to bother you in your exam time. So you figure out whenever you get time. Okay. By the end of the year, right? Which you have about 3 weeks for the end of the year. So between now and end of the year, I'm sure you'll get some break. You'll get Christmas, New Year break, end of the after post-exam break. Try to share at least one Bhagavad Gita. At least one. How many of you think it's easy? One Gita. I'm not saying 500. How many of you think sharing one Gita to someone who don't know? It's not okay. I'll give to someone whom I know very well, right? Okay, so you have to share one Bhagavad Gita of course, when you go with adults, your parents, grandparents, right? Between now and end of the year. And also post your picture, right? Okay. So you'll post your picture in the group. Okay. And that's your offering to Srila Prabhupada. And anyone who shares Bhagavad Gita with others, right? Lord Krishna says that that person is very, very dear to me. Not only that, he says, there was never anyone more dear. There is never anyone more dear. And there will not be anyone more dear than a person who shares Bhagavad Gita with others. Right? Did you know that? This is actually a verse in Bhagavad Gita itself. And that comes in chapter number 18. Do you want to read that verse? Shall we read to prove it? How many of you say yes? Okay, quite a few of you. So I will open that verse. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see. Let me know if you're able to see my screen. Okay. Who would like to try? It's 18.68. Anyone wants to try the Sanskrit? Okay, Vedehi, please.
Hare Krishna. Yaitam paramam guhyam madbhakteshav abhidhasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mam evishyati asamshaya. Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice. Who wants to read the English? Okay, Navya. Go ahead, please.
For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
Very nice. It's a small purport, so let's read that too. Anyone? Yes, Jashit?
Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad Gita be discussed among the devotees only. For those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor Bhagavad Gita. Those who do not accept Krishna as he is and Bhagavad Gita as it is should not try to explain Bhagavad Gita whimsically and become offenders. Bhagavad Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. It is a subject matter for the devotees only and not for the philosophical speculators. Anyone who however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad Gita as it is will advance in devotional activities and reach pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to Godhead.
Wow.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. So anyone who reads, hears, understands, try to share, right? Explain this secret. And in the next verse, it's mentioned, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he or she, nor will ever be one more dear. So what does that mean? Can someone put some more light here? What does the statement mean? Who can elaborate a little bit more? Okay, Athar, you want to try?
I guess maybe it means
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess maybe it means if you do a little acts of devotion, Krishna will be happy Like,
Okay, very good. And what is that specific act of devotion referred in here? That's the main question. Anyone else wants to try or elaborate a little bit more? You want to?
There's like no more person that's like, if they like give spirit or knowledge to somebody, there's like nobody that will be more dear or more nobody that's gonna be the most person that's like dear to me.
Very good. So you have to keep in mind that these are in continuation. So for one who explains, if you like put these verses together, okay? For one who explained the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. So number one, they will be benefited. What they will get? They'll get pure devotional service, right? Not only that, they will go back home, back to Godhead. That is mentioned as, they'll come back to me, okay? And now just imagine the next line which we read in text 69, this is 68, is next to it, okay? Just imagine that. There is no one than him, than that person who explains the secret to others, and neither there will ever be, right? So in short, there is no servant in this world more dear than that person who gives the secret to others, then who shares the secret of Bhagavad Gita to others, and neither there, nor will there ever be one more dear. That means, in short, that servant, that devotee, that person is the most dear to Krishna, right? Like 68, 69, just for reference. Okay, some of you, I think, learned the one Ekashloki Krishna Lila Amrita verse, right? That was the activity or homework from last time. Is that correct? How many of you learned? Raise your hand. We'll do some. Okay. Okay. Let's recite it a few times. So Lakshay, Navya, and then Ethereal. Sorry, Mishti. Or you can both do together. Yeah, Lakshay, Mishti, sorry, Lakshay, Navya, and then Mishti, Ethereal can do together. Go ahead, please.
Ado Devaki Devi Garbha Jananam Gopi Grihe Vardhanam Maya Putana Jivita Paharanam Govardhanodaranam Kamsa Chedana Kuberavadi Hananam Kumti Sutam Palanam Etad Bhagavatam Purana Katitam Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛtam.
Very nice. It's Kaurava, not Kuvera. It's Kaurava. Okay, very good. Yeah, those who have not learned, please try to learn also. Okay, Navya, please.
Ado Devaki Devi Garbha Jananam Gopi Grihe Vardhanam Maya Putna Jivita Paharanam Govardhanam Udharanam Kamsa Chedana Kauravadi Hananam Kanti Sutam Palanam Etad Bhāgavatam Purana Kaitam Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛtam.
Very nice. Very good. Kunti Sutam. Kunti Sutam Palanam. Very good. Yes, next.
Hare Krishna. Ado Devaki Devi Garbha Jananam Gopi Grihe Vardhanam Maya Putana Jivita Paharanam Govardhanodharanam Kansa Chedana Kauravadi Hananam Kunti Sutam Palanam Etad Bhagavata Purana Kathitam Śrī Krishna Leelamritam. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Again, Kunti Sutam. We will emphasize the ah here, okay? Or the ah here, whichever. Very good. So others are also requested to try to memorize it. Okay, it's a very beautiful verse. And when you have memorized it, try to recite it every day. See, just think about if you recite these two verses, Ekashloki Krishna Lila and Ekashloki Ram Lila, you are practically remembering the entire pastimes of the major pastimes of Lord Krishna and Lord Ram every day, right? So beautiful verses. Please try to memorize these two verses. Lord Ram's pastimes and Lord Krishna's pastimes. Okay. I was thinking what to cover today. And recently I went to Govardhan Parikrama. As mentioned here, Govardhan Udharanam. You all know the pastime of Govardhan, right? Krishna lifted Govardhan was when he was 7 years for 7 days, 7 nights, right? And when he was to protect the residents of Vrindavan and also to kind of destroy the pride of Indra, right? Because Indra developed, oh, I'm controlling. I should be given a lot of respect. I'm the one who gives them rain. I'm the one who sustains them. He forgot that Krishna is the one who gives us everything. And Krishna is my master. He forgot that. And therefore Krishna, through one activity, does multiple things or teaches multiple lessons. So he killed the pride of Indra, right? At the same time, he protected the devotees. At the same time, the devotees wanted to have more personal time with Krishna altogether, right? Like you have night out with friends, right? Sometimes. And then you have some games, some activities, some, eating together and doing stuff together. So for 7 days, Krishna had a week out with all his friends, parents, gopis, everyone was together underneath the Govardhan hill. So we will cover 3 stories today, if Krishna willing. And then we will try to understand some lessons also. Okay? These are the stories about Govardhan, which some of you may have heard, some of you may not have heard. But either way, it will benefit us if we hear with attention. If we have not heard, or if we have heard even 100 times, it will still benefit us. So it's for my own purification, and it's also for everyone. If you hear with rapid attention, then there'll be a lot of benefit. So everyone good? Okay, I'll pause in the middle also like I always do, right? So your hands on your keyboards if you want to share or type in responses. Okay? How many yugas are there? Let's begin with that. How many yugas? Type in the name of all the 4. I gave the answer, 4 yugas. Type in the name of all the 4 yugas in the right order. Who knows the names of the 4 yugas? Okay, some of you answered Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar, and present Yuga, which is Kali Yuga. That's perfect. Most of you answered. Most of you know this quite well. So this Govardhan lifting pastime happened in which Yuga? In which Yuga Krishna lifted Govardhan hill? Dwapar Yuga. Very nice. Excellent. By the end of Dwapar Yuga, like almost. Who knows the age of Dwapar Yuga? This is a little trick question. Who knows the age? How many years? What's the age of Dwapar Yuga?
Wait, you mean like how many years? Like
how many years? Yes. How many years? Some of you are responding 640 and 5,000, etc. 8,000, 800,000. Okay, so most of you like math. So let's do a little bit of math here. Since I haven't received the right response yet. Okay, so Kali Yuga is how much? 4, who knows? Kali Yuga age, anyone knows? 4, yes, Riddhi?
Is it 4,000?
No, it's 432,000.
Oh, okay.
3 zeros, 432K, yes. So now Dwapara is twice of that. So all the math experts, how much is twice of that? So 2 times Kali. You can tell without using calculator. Yes, beyond
864,000.
Okay, 864 years. Okay. That was just a fun fact, you can say. And how much would be then Treta? 3 times of Kali. And Satyug is 4 times of Kali. Okay? Good. So, in different yugas, Govardhan, hill. And Govardhan, by the way, is not just an ordinary hill. There are many, many mountains, right? Like Himalayas, like any other mountains, K2, maybe some mountains in US, who knows? Isha, please tell.
I don't know about US, but I know Mount Everest.
Mount Everest. Any other Himalayas? We covered Everest. Good. Yes, Vedi.
There's the Smoky Mountains here, and then the west, the Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains, Smoky Mountains. So every country, there are some mountain ranges, right? Biraj, what's on your mind?
Prabhuji said Appalachian Mountains.
Appalachian Mountains. Wow, I have never heard of that. You're also smart. I learned so much from you. Ethereal mentioned Rushmore. But who is the king of all mountains? It's mentioned Namaste. You know this verse? Namaste Girirajaya. Did we do that before in the past? Govardhan Namine? No? Okay, then we will do this. This will be your verse. Let's begin with this beautiful prayer. Namaste Girirajaya. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Since this is your first time seeing this verse, so I'll recite, and then 1 or 2 of you can recite, and then try to learn this also. Okay? Namaste Girirajaya Śrī Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Param Ananda Dadaine. Okay, 3 devotees will recite. Who are those 3? Okay, Ethereal, Avani, and Ishan. Go ahead. And Vinita also, 4. Let's begin, please, quick.
Namaste Girirajaya Śrī Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine.
Very good.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Namaste Girirajaya Śrī Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine.
Very good.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Namaste Girirajaya Śrī Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine.
Very nice.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Girirajaya Śrī Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine.
Very nice. Namaste, we all know. Many, many verses begin with Namaste. I offer my prayers, I offer my respect, I offer my obeisance to whom? Giri Raja. Raja means king, right? Giri means mountain. Who is the king of all mountains? Śrī Govardhana Namini. His name is Govardhan. He's a person. He's not just a rock. He has a soft heart, right? You can express yourself to Govardhan. You can share your feelings with Govardhan. He's Krishna himself. He's a soft heart. He's not just a rock, right? He's Krishna himself. And he's the best of the devotees also. His name is Govardhan. What's his name? Nama, name. See, the word name comes from Nam in Sanskrit, Namini. His name is Govardhan, or he's known as Govardhan. Shesha Klesh. Klesh means trouble. Ashesh means unlimited troubles he can do. Nash. Nash means destroy. He can put an end to unlimited troubles, sufferings in our lives. So any kind of trouble you have, any suffering you have, any discomfort you have, whom shall we approach? Govardhan or Krishna. He puts end to those. And not only that, he does, in math, there is a scale, right? Like negative scale, neutral, zero, number line, or scale in graphs, right? X, Y axis, right? You all are familiar with those things. There is a negative scale, negative side of the number line, and then there is a zero, and then there's a positive side. So Govardhan just does not neutralize to bring it to zero scale, from negative to zero, from suffering to zero. Not just that, but he also gives Param Ananda. Param means topmost. Ethereal, Prapti and Heli are there. Your brother's name is Param, right? What does Param mean?
I think like ultimate.
Ultimate, topmost, right? Same meaning. Param Ananda. Ananda, you all know, right? Ananda means happiness. The Daine, he gives, right? Dan, the. So now one of you can read the translation, please. Who has not yet read? Anyone who has not yet spoken anything? Prapti, please go ahead.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the king of all hills, Govardhana Hill, the source of enjoyment for the senses, land, and cows. He is a servant of Krishna and is Krishna himself. He puts an end to unlimited sufferings and bestows the supreme bliss.
Excellent. Very good. So you remember in the last verse also, which you memorized, some of you memorized, was there mention of Govardhan? Right? So in Krishna Lilamrita, there are hundreds and hundreds of pastimes, right? Unlimited pastimes. Even those which are known to us, there are still hundreds, correct? But in that Krishna Lilamrita, Ekashloki Krishna Lilamrita, there's only a few pastimes, right? But in those few, there is mention of Govardhan. What do you refer from that? What do you infer from that? Any thoughts? Yes, Avani, please.
Like, you can infer that it's like an important pastime.
Very good. It's very important pastime, right? If there are 100 things, like your father says, oh, there are 20 things, but these 3 you don't forget, right? Or if there's anything, your teacher may say there are like list of, there are 64 limbs of devotion. But Śrī Rupa Goswami says, okay, just focus on the 5 most, because sometimes it may not be possible to focus on 64 things, but 5 most. So what this mentions, what we can infer, as Avani rightly said, that it's a very important pastime. So please try to memorize this verse. Excuse me. And some of you have exams and some of you have not memorized the previous verse, but I'll give you like 2 weeks. I don't want to overwhelm you. But at the same time, don't let the things creep to the last day. Okay. My goal is not just to see your recordings, right? My goal is not just to put some pressure and get the words done. My goal is that you cherish the words. My goal is that you fall in love with the prayer, right? And try to recite these prayers, the ones you are learning, try to put in your notes, try to understand a little bit more. What is this referring? What am I speaking? And things like that. Okay, so let's go to Satyuga. We all know in Satyuga, the lifespan is very high. And Govardhan is the holiest of the holy places. So in Satyuga, there was a great sage by the name Pulastya Muni. Okay, there was a great sage by the name Pulastya Muni. And Govardhan was the son of Vindhyachal. So this sage did not have a cave. The sages need some cave, some place to do their bhajan, their meditation, etc. Like we all need a house to stay, to study, to rest, to eat, etc. Right? We need a place, right? We don't do all these things on the road. Krishna has blessed us that we have a home by the blessings of our parents and the Supreme Lord, that we have a place to rest, we have a place to eat, we have a place to do our chores and things like that. But sages, even I was at Govardhan Parikrama recently, there are so many people who are happily doing Parikrama for years and years. And their place is Govardhan. Even our great Goswamis like Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, etc., they used to live under trees. Of course, we cannot imitate that, right? Who can live under a tree? No fixed place. One day sleeping under one tree, next day sleeping under other tree, totally dependent on Krishna, right? Can we imagine the level of surrender they had? And they were not like beggars. They were not like paupers. They were multi-millionaires and billionaires. But out of love for Krishna, they chose to live a lifestyle like that. We don't need to imitate that, but at least we can appreciate the level, right? Is everyone following? So who was the Muni who needed a cave for his things? Let's see who all know this answer. Yeah, type in please. Yeah, because I can't hear from 20 devotees. I can't hear.
Prabhuji?
Sorry? Who was the sage who was looking for a house or a cave for his bhajan? Pulatsya, yeah? Okay, so he went to Dronagiri. He went to, Himalayas, Vindhyachal, and said, because he's like, can I get a place? Can I get some, mountain? Because mountains have caves. And at that time, he saw multiple mountains, right? But his heart was attracted to Govardhan. And he said, I want to take Govardhan. He said, don't take Govardhan. You can take any mountain, but please don't take Govardhan. So Pulatsya Muni said, no, you gave me a word, you have to give, right? You can't go back from your word. Is it ringing a bell? Something similar happened. Someone gave their word and the sage asked for, okay, what's that thing kind of closely connected to this coming to your mind? Anyone? Yes, Arna, please tell.
Dashrath, when Kaikai told him to give Ram for 14 years exile.
That was little later, but the sage Vishwamitra came before and asked, I want to take Ram and Lakshman to help with the, to kill some demons who are troubling the yajna. At that time, they were much younger also. So that's the pastime. So very good. So very similar connection here, right? But finally, Pulatsya Muni said, okay, you have promised. And then Dronagiri said, okay, that's fine. But then Govardhan said, hey, you asked my father, did you ask me? I don't want to go. He said, no, your father has given a word. Finally, Govardhan agreed. But he said, okay, one condition, right? One condition. If you place me down anywhere, you want to take me to Kashi? Because that's where Pulatsya Muni was living. It's in Varanasi, Kashi. But if you place me down, then I'm not going to move from that place, right? That was the condition laid out. And Pulasya Muni said, okay, I'm very powerful. I'm very strong. I won't be putting you down. And then, they started. So Pulasya, like Hanuman lifted a mountain, remember, to help Lakshmana. So similarly, I can show you a quick picture. That's the only picture I have for today. I thought I'll make more pictures, but I didn't get time. So maybe next time I'll share more pictures. But this is the picture. So the sage Pulasya Muni is carrying Govardhan, right? And he's bringing, this happened in Satya Yuga, okay? We're going in different yugas. This happened in Satya Yuga. So he agreed with the condition, which we discussed, and they started the journey, right? From the Himalayas, from the upper north part, going all the way to Kashi. And finally, when they were passing the Vraja area, near Mathura, where the present Govardhan is, Pulasya Muni developed urge to pee. This was arranged by the transcendental energy of the Lord. And now, if he has to pee, then he has to put Govardhan down, right? And some time had passed, so Pulasya Muni thought, I will, he must have forgotten by now, or he will, sometimes we say something, but, not very serious about it, right? Okay, I'll convince him. So he kind of didn't take that condition very seriously. He put Govardhan down, and then he did what he had to do to pee, came back after washing his hands and stuff, and said, Govardhan, let's go. Govardhan said, no, sorry, we are not going to move from here. Why? Because we had a condition. He said, what condition? He said, well, what was the condition? Who knows? Yes, Isha?
That if you put me down, I will not move anywhere else.
Yes, that was the condition. So the condition, had to hold true. And Govardhan said, no, I'm fixed. We discussed it. Now I'm not going to go back from my word. And you are not supposed, you're a sage, you're not supposed to go back, right? From your word also. And then Pulasya got angry. He said, if you do like this, you will reduce the size, your size will reduce every day by mustard seed. So earlier in Satya Yuga, Govardhan was miles long, miles wide, miles in length. But now if you see, if the circumference is about 21 kilometers, it's about 21 kilometers. That's the, can anyone walk straight 21 kilometers? That's about 15, how many miles is there? 21 divided by 1.6, what's the answer? Don't use calculator, Isha. Who knows the answer? 21 divided by 1.6. Can anyone do mentally? Some Virat said 13. That looks close, 13, 14 kilometers, 14 miles approximately, right? Or 13 miles, yeah, 13 miles. So who can walk straight 13 miles? Can anyone of you walk straight? No? I'm not saying you have to do in 1 hour. You can take 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, right?
Probably 21 divided by what?
1 mile is equivalent to 1.6 kilometers. So to convert 21 kilometers to miles, you have to divide by 1.6. So and that comes out to be about 13 miles. When I was your age, actually, I would encourage, you should plan maybe in your winter break, summer break, sometime in future, discuss with your parents and come to Govardhan and do Govardhan Parikrama. Okay, have a plan, have a wish list, right? Devotees also have a wish list. Mentalistic people have wish lists. Hey, I want to go to enjoy, Switzerland and this and that. But devotees have spiritual desires. So have it in one of your spiritual desires. I want to do Govardhan Parikrama by feet walking, right? How many of you will try, at least in future, after 1 year, 2 years, sometime, right? Okay, please try, please consider. And you can do it, right? You're all young, healthy devotees. You can do it easily. So that was a story in Satya Yuga, okay? Pulasya Muni's story. So the Govardhan size gradually started to reduce because of the curse of Prahlad Muni. But the main reason was separation from Krishna. When Krishna winded up his pastimes after around the end of Dwapar Yuga, Govardhan size, reduced much more quickly because he could not tolerate separation. Now there is a story in what comes after Satya Yuga. Who has not answered any or responded to anything yet? I would like everyone to take part. Half of your cameras are off. Half of you don't speak unless I really push you to speak. So please be engaged and interactive, right? Who knows this answer? What comes after Satya Yuga? We just discussed that. The 4 yugas. What will come after? Yes, Sahas.
Treta Yuga.
Treta Yuga. And can anyone tell a big thing which happened in Treta Yuga? A big story you know from Treta Yuga? Lakshay.
I want to say 2 things, Suji. In the big thing that happened in Treta Yuga was Lord Rama's appearance.
Yes. Lord Ram's pastime happened in Treta Yuga. Lord Krishna's pastime happened in Dwapar Yuga. So this is a story from a little bit about Hanuman's connection. So Hanuman, you all know this pastime, that the bridge was being built. And what did they have to use to build bridges at that time? What were the monkeys putting in the, type in your responses, pause. What were they putting to build the bridge? They were putting rocks. Very nice. They were putting stones. Some of them were small, some of them were big, right? And they were all doing according to their dash. They were all lifting rocks, mountains, sand particles, etc. According to what? What's the fill in the blank? Type in, because I want everyone. And try to type into me only, okay? Otherwise, people may take reference.
Prabhuji?
According to what? Yeah.
Govardhan hill turns into a little small rock.
Okay. I'm not sure what that meant. Govardhan hill turned into a small rock.
Yeah, because you said it reduces smaller every day. So what if it turns into a small rock?
It did. From miles, it didn't turn into a small rock.
No, like a small rock. What if
not
one
small.
day it did?
Because it's gradual, right? If it's someone is like miles high, miles tall, and if it's reducing very little every day, it won't turn to a small rock overnight, correct? It will be a gradual process, like your height, right? Right now, like 5 years back, your height was maybe 2 feet. Let's give an example. Right now, your height is like 4 feet, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, correct? So if someone is like miles tall, there is no mountain practically. The highest peak is how much in this current world? Everest. How high is Everest? Who knows the answer? Okay, Lakshay?
I think it's like 100 or something. I think it's like 100 or something of miles.
100 miles? No, that's way off. Ishan?
It's 27,000 something feet.
What? 27,000 feet. Yeah, it's about that sounds a little close. It's about 9,000 meters, right? That's about 27,000 feet. That sounds close. So 8 kilometers, that's about 5 miles only, right? It's only 5 miles high. And if you do in miles, but Govardhan is much higher. Okay. So anyways, back to this question. My question was, they were doing according to their capacity, according to the strength. Like, all know the squirrel and the Hanuman story. The squirrel was putting little grains of sand particles, but Hanuman was lifting big rocks. So Hanuman was lifting big rocks, and at that time, Govardhan was very big. So Hanuman's eye felt on Govardhan, and he said, hey, Govardhan, right? Hanuman was fetching everywhere. Where are the big rocks? And let me use them in the service of Sri Ram, in the service of Lord Ram, and put in that ocean to build that bridge, right? And Hanumanji came to Govardhan, and Govardhan was very excited. Yes, I'm going to be an instrument to help Lord Ram. He's my master, he's my everything. I'm so excited. Like a devotee should always be excited when he gets a chance to serve, right? A devotee should be very enthusiastic. It's a life lessons, okay? We should not do service, grudgingly, or why is he asking me to do this? Why? We should be excited about it. We should be enthusiastic about it, right? That yes, I have got this chance, whatever that service, and we should try to do with a lot of enthusiasm. And then, but suddenly, whoo, the conch blew. The bridge is complete. And Hanuman was about to pick Govardhan, and the conch blew that the bridge is complete. Now what? Hanumanji said, oh dear Govardhan, please forgive me. I can't take you. Now, what emotion Govardhan must be going through? Question. Question means you have to type in your response. What emotion must he be going through? He was very excited about doing this service, and suddenly he gets to know that the bridge is complete. That means, he is not required anymore. Yes, all of you said, most of you said he was disappointed. He was very sad. He was so looking forward to the service, to serve Lord Ram, to serve Hanuman, and be with devotees. But suddenly, and then he was very sad. But devotee, can understand the emotions of others. Devotee, so Govardhan, Hanumanji said, sorry, I can't take you. But Govardhan said, but you need to help me. You know how painful it is that when I don't get chance to serve, so you have to bless me, right? So devotees' blessings. So Hanumanji said, okay, I'll give you blessing that not in this yoga, but in the next yoga, which is dash. You will get chance to personally serve Krishna. This is Triketa Yoga going on. You really wanted to be of service, but you couldn't due to certain reasons. I gave you blessings. That in next yoga, Lord Krishna will personally come. You will become, and he said, I'll give you multiple blessings. So if he would have been in the rocks, there were multiple rocks, there were multiple mountains used to make the bridge. And how many of you know the names of rocks? Anyone knows any names of the rocks which were used to build that bridge over there? We don't know. There were probably like lakhs and tons and millions of rocks used. So you would have been one amongst those millions. You might not have got a chance to do special service, but in the next yoga, you would get chance to do very special service. Lord Krishna will come on you with his Balram, the brother, with his friends, with his gopis, with his parents and everyone, with his cows and calves, and you will get exclusive service. And not only that, he will lift you. Not only you will be under his feet, but he'll also lift you for 7 days and 7 nights. And then there'll be so much fun. So like that, he got so many blessings. Not only one day, like they crossed the bridge, pretty much done, right? We don't know much stories, but for Govardhan, we have hundreds and hundreds of stories. How Krishna was eating lunch, how Krishna was grazing the cows, how Krishna was having so much time, fun time in Govardhan. The Govardhan Lila itself is 7 days, 7 nights. So Govardhan was very happy, very, very happy. Okay, he said, okay, I can be patient, because he has to be almost patient for how many years? Who can give an approximate number here? Just a ballpark. Was it like 100 years or okay? Avani, what do you think?
He has to wait for like about 1 million years.
About 1 million years, right? About 1 million years. That's like 3 times Kali Yuga approximately, right? We don't know exactly when that happened, but the whole Dwapar Yuga, which is 800,000 years, 864,000, he had to wait, plus portion of Treta Yuga as well, right? So over 1 million years he had to wait. That needs patience, right? So see, enthusiasm he had, determination he had, and he also showed patience, very important quality. Govardhan showed patience. 1 million years I'm ready to wait if I'm get a chance to serve Krishna, right? It's a very important quality as well. And then after getting these so many blessings from Hanuman, he was very happy and excited. And then we all know the next yuga came after 1 million plus years. And what was that yuga? Why are there are so many devotees on the camera is off, and then those devotees happen to be the devotees, those who don't respond also. So there is a close connection, you see. Those devotees whose cameras are off, they are not much responsive. This is just my comments. So those parents who are hearing, or if you want to keep your cameras off, you have to let me know prior, right? If there's a strong reason your Wi-Fi is not working, or you're doing some disco dance, you have to let me know in advance, right? That there's some reason you can't turn your camera. Because the general practice or the general expectation is that you keep your camera on unless there's a very strong reason that you couldn't do. Okay, so please try not to complain, just my concern. That is, so yeah, Dwapar Yuga came, and we all know Krishna lifted Govardhan hill for 7 days, 7 nights, right? And then so many pastimes happened. So there are multiple facets. One was now you know more and more. So what were the main reasons Krishna lifted Govardhan hill? Who will tell? Now you all will tell. What are some of the reasons, like Krishna does multiple things through one activity. So now you tell me some of the reasons. Okay, Mishti, and then Isha, and then Avani.
He lifted Govardhan so like all of the entire Braj could like associate with him like in the 7 days.
Yes, to have a wonderful time, right? With the Gopas and the Gopis and the parents and the other elders, everyone together. To have fun, like you have, how many of you had night out with your friends at some point? Anyone had? Raise your hand. I can't see the necks moving. It's quite hard to comprehend. So most of you, is it fun? Do you like it? Right? Okay, good. So that's it's all coming from Krishna. Krishna had the week out. Very good. That's one reason. Very good. Next, who knows other reasons? Anyone knows other reasons? Yes, Isha?
It rained a lot because of Indra, because he was getting ego.
Yeah. It rained a lot. It was not just rain, it was a torrential rains, like practically to destroy the entire Vraja. So to protect these residents of Vraja, Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. What else? That's reason 2. Number 3, who knows? You want to?
Like, he had like courage to do it. He wanted to show Indra like not to do the stuff by showing like courage. Because he had to like lift Govinda's head for like 2 days.
Very nice. To basically kill the pride of Indra, who is the real hero. Indra developed pride. To destroy that pride. Krishna doesn't like pride in the heart of devotees. Indra is also a devotee. So Krishna does some arrangements to destroy that. Very nice. What else? Anyone knows any other reason? Now you can unmute. I can't see some of your hands. Vinayak, you had something?
No, Prabhuji, it was already said.
Okay. One reason which we just discussed, to fulfill the desire of Hanuman, right? Because Hanuman had given blessing to Govardhan, right? So Krishna had to do that. Can anyone remember any other things where a devotee gave a blessing and then Krishna had to do that? Because the devotee told that Krishna will do it. It comes in multiple pastimes. Think about Yes, Vedahi?
I think during the Mahabharata, Bhishma wanted Krishna. I think he wanted him to
Lift
pick up
yeah.
his weapons.
Yes. Very nice, very nice. And then Krishna had to do that because devotee says, very nice. Anyone had any other examples? Ethereal, please tell.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj, can you elaborate a little bit?
Hiranyakashipu kept on doing like many bad things to him, but then he remembered Krishna, and then even like if like for example Hiranyakashipu like sent elephants or something, but then like somebody like I would get scared, but then he remembered Krishna, and then Krishna had to come.
Yeah. And then he asked, hey, is your God in the pillar? He said, yes. And then Krishna, the Supreme Lord, appeared from the pillar. So like that, there are multiple, if a devotee says something, even like Brahmaji said to Hiranyakashipu, you will not die in the day or the night by any weapon, or dead or living, man or human, man or animal, etc. So then Krishna appeared as Nrsimhadev. Even in the pastime of Nalakuber and Manigriva, right? Narada Muni told that Lord Krishna will deliver you, and he did later, right? So there are so many such examples. So here Hanuman told that yes, Krishna will come and lift you, and then Krishna came. So like that, it's almost time. We'll not have Kahoot today. We'll try to like combine this or have it next, because last time we didn't cover much stories. We covered the verse primarily. So just to wrap up, you have one activity, which is you have 3 weeks to do that, right? Distribute at least one Gita. If you want to do more, no one is stopping you. You have full permission, but at least one. And then you'll post that picture to whom you give, okay? With the Gita, with you and that individual. Then you will learn the 2 verses. If you haven't covered the last one, please memorize that and cover the one for the Govardhan. Namaste Girirajaya. Okay? And then today, the story we covered, try to revise that also. Okay, because we covered, how many of you had heard these 2 stories in the past? Anyone had heard? Was it interesting? Yeah. How many of you heard both the stories? Did anyone hear? Misty had heard. Okay. The Hanuman story also? You had heard? Very good. But we hear more and more, and then we relish more and more, as we discussed. Okay. So any thoughts, comments, questions is the time to talk about. We can take a few minutes. Yes, beyond to.
For some reason, now I want to like hear another story of Krishna.
Can you? I didn't get that.
I want to hear another story of Krishna.
You want to hear another story of Krishna? That's beautiful. I like your eagerness. Okay. I'll see if that everyone is okay with that, but let's take some more thoughts, and then anyone has more thoughts, questions? Okay, how many of you also want to hear one more story of Krishna? Or how many of you are time crunched? You have a very important meeting or something. Anyone time crunched? Okay. Okay, then we will hear, since some of you come late also, so I'll also go late. Not because of my choice, but because of Beyonto's eagerness. So give a special thanks or clap to Beyonto for his eagerness. So I will share a picture with you of Kusum Sarovar. Or maybe I can, it's a very, very beautiful place. A very, very beautiful place. And we just went there the other day. You may feel what that place is. It's. Hey, don't share your screen, please. I'm going to share that. So this is Kusum Sarovar. Isn't that beautiful? This is the reflection in the water, right? This is the actual building built by a king of Jaipur. And this is a reflection in the water. So we went to Govardhan with my brother and my bhabhi. So this is in the daytime, right? And that's in the night time. So we went to a lot of holy places. These deities are also, there are so many holy places in Govardhan. So this is the hill, these mountains, these rocks are Giri Govardhan, very special. We did a parikrama, we circumambulated the hill. This Narsingha temple, 1,000-year-old deity, Narsingha Dev deity. And you can see the whole Govardhan from here. Very beautiful. So, yeah. And then there's another beautiful temple at Giri Govardhan, which is, so there's a story at Kusum Sarovar. I'll read that story, okay? So here with attention. So there is a 15 days in Kartik. Before the Kartik, there is a special festival called Sanji festival, okay? The festival is called Sanji. And what they do, the gopis make fancy designs made from cow dung, like rangoli kind of, but using cow dung and other colors, natural colors with flowers, etc. They decorate the house. How many of you like rangoli? Or have you done something similar, right? And some of you have done. So you can use flowers and colors. So gopis used to do that. Each gopi would make their own sanji, and they would use cow dung, they would use flowers, etc. So on one such festival, it happens every year, Radharani saw that the Vrindavan flowers were all used up, were all picked up since everyone, so there is less, stock of flowers. So she said to her sakhis, sakhis means her girlfriends, the other gopis, let's go to Kusumvan, the one I showed you, right, just now, Kusum Sarovar or Kusumvan. And over there we'll pick flowers because Vrindavan has no flowers. Everyone has used those flowers. And they've all agreed. And then all the Gopas also received the news. The cowherd boys also received the news. What was the news? That all the Sakhis are going to be there, right? And the gopis, so when the Gopas received the news of the gopis' plan, they went directly to tell whom? Can anyone guess? All the Gopas told the news to? Yes, we want to.
Krishna.
Krishna, very good. And the gopis are going to pick flowers at Kusumvan. They informed him, they informed Krishna. So let us go and graze our cows and calves, and then we will play some trick on them. That's what Krishna liked to do, play tricks on the gopis in revenge for the trouble they caused us. Krishna agreed, yes, we will do that. And I'm not going out today, I'm feeling sick. So Krishna said, I'm not going to go out. I'm feeling sick. But you take my cows and you take my cows, okay? So that day the Gopas went out without Krishna. Krishna, knowing that they would not go as far as Kusum Sarovar without himself, there to protect them, once the Gopas had left, Krishna disguised himself as a gardener, right? As a gardener called Mali in Hindi, and went alone to Kusumvan. So they were going to Kusumvan or Kusum Sarovar, the present day, right? Is everyone still good? You're getting all the connections? So Krishna disguised as gardener with his mustache and turban and having a stick. So at Kusumvan, the gopis were picking flowers, right? But Radharani's sari became hooked on a thorn, right? Sometimes your clothes may get, if you're passing through something, like get stuck to a piece of furniture or sometimes. So Radharani's sari got stuck, hooked to a thorny tree. When she could not free herself, she called for assistance. Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Champakalata, Chitra, Tungavidya. These are the 8 principal gopis, okay? If you like, you can learn their names. Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Champakalata, Chitra, Tungavidya. Krishna, so she called out, help me. Krishna, hearing her calls, and thinking she was alone, came to her aid to help her. In disguise, he unhooked her sari and walked away. Radharani also walked away and soon met her Sakhis. Radharani, where are your flowers? They inquired, right? Radharani said, I haven't picked any flowers. My sari got hooked on a thorny tree and I couldn't free myself. Then the Sakhis asked, how did you then free yourself? Some person unhooked my sari, she explained, but in doing so, he has hooked my mind. So beautiful. He unhooked my sari, but he has hooked my mind. Right? That what does that mean? That Krishna is so attractive. When we hear about Krishna, our mind gets hooked, is it not? Our mind gets attracted to Krishna. When we see the beautiful deities, when we see the kirtan, the prasadam, this is basically Krishna hooking our minds to him and his other activities or forms. At that moment, Radharani entered a trance and fell to the ground. In anxiety, the Sakhis picked her up. Let us go back to Barsana. That's the place of Radharani. They said, we have picked enough flowers for all of us. No, said Radharani, let's look for that person who freed me up. So the gopis took the path to the thorny tree, and there they met whom? Krishna, who was disguised as Mali, the gardener, right? So, it is you who are stealing my flowers, said Krishna. Your flowers? Exclaimed the Sakhis. These are Radharani's flowers. Who are you to accuse us of stealing these flowers? Oh, I am Banamali. Vana means forest, Mali means gardener. I am the gardener of this forest. Krishna replied, I tend these flowers, I water these flowers, and you are destroying them all? You're stealing them? So an argument broke out between Krishna and the Sakhis. And in that commotion, many flowers were dropped. Krishna said, I'll take all these flowers. So only when Radharani spied, she saw that that Mali had a flute near his waist. Then she could see, oh, Radharani laughed. Who are you arguing? She said, that is not Vanamali. That is Vanabihari, the lord of the forest. On hearing, the gopis pulled off Krishna's disguise. His game was up. So basically they recognize he's not a gardener or anything. He's just Krishna and trying to harass us and trying to cause an argument. So it was now getting late. Most of the gopis returned to Varsana, leaving Radharani, Lalita, and Vishakha alone. So the three, sometimes you may see in the temple, Lalita and Vishakha on either side of Radha and Krishna. Some deities you may have seen like in Vrindavan and in many other places also. Since you made us drop all these flowers, said Radharani, what are you going to do with them? Replied Krishna. We are to decorate our Sanji, right? Sanji, the pattern, the Rangoli, with them. Then I shall decorate you, announced Krishna. So decorate Radharani. Seeing that flowers were covered with dust, Krishna said, sit here while I go to Yamuna to wash these flowers. So all the flowers had dropped, and now Krishna has to decorate Śrī Radharani, but then he has to wash the flowers because they were covered with dust. You know, when a flower drops, you're picking flower, then you wash it again, but then you need water, right? So then Krishna said, I'll go to Yamuna. We are not going to stay here alone, said Radharani. Come with me. Then replied Krishna, no, we'll get tired. So come with me means come with me to Yamuna. Then we'll wash flowers and then decorate you. So they said, no, we'll get tired and we have to go back to Barsana. Understanding the mind of Śrī Radharani, Krishna dug his flute into the ground. So Krishna dug his flute into the ground to create a hole which filled with water from Krishna's flute. So Krishna is a supreme magician, right? So Krishna put his flute and a hole will appear and then there was water, right? Krishna can do anything, right? He is a supreme Lord, right? He can do extraordinary things. So, and that hole where the water was filled from Krishna's flute, and that sarovar, that water body, which you all saw, I'm going to show you again. That hole is what? Who knows the name now? Yes, Mishti?
Kusum Sarovar?
Yes, that is Kusum Sarovar. Kusum means flowers. Lord Chaitanya also called it Suman Sarovar. Suman also means flower. Suman also means good mind. Right? So this is that Kusum Sarovar which was created from the flute of Krishna. So then Krishna, in this Kusum Sarovar, Krishna washed the flowers and proceeded to braid and decorate Sri Radharani's hair. Krishna, I'm going to show a very, very special picture to you. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, yes, I have it here. So in that Kusum Sarovar, you see the picture? So Krishna started to decorate, braid Radharani's hair, and Radharani is looking at the mirror and seeing Krishna. Krishna is decorating the hair, braiding Radharani's hair. It's a very special pastime. Okay, and that happened here also. And Radharani took pleasure seeing Krishna with the mirror. All the gopis have returned to Varsana to decorate their Sanji, their Rangoli, and we have left behind. How do we decorate ours? Krishna said, you go and see everyone else's Sanji. I will make and decorate yours. Krishna then disguised himself again on the occasion as a gopi with the veil. With the veil means a covering. He covered his face with a dupatta, with a and then Radharani, Lalita's, Vishaka's Sanjis were considered the best. So basically, Krishna decorated their Sanji, and when Krishna does, they made his Rangoli. So it was like a Rangoli competition, Sanji competition, and their Rangoli was the best. So this is a beautiful story. Did you like it?
Yes.
So that happened at Kusum Sarovar. Okay, so I know it's a little late for some of you, so I don't want to extend further, but you have a good night and all the best again for your exams. And thank you so much again for your bhakti, for your association, for all your eagerness. And I'm so grateful to all of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Bye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.